Power BI. Okay, so what is business intelligence? Just a quick recap. Business intelligence is an umbrella term. In simple term, business intelligence, in the case of business intelligence, we take the raw data from multiple sources, and we blend all these data, and then what we do is we combine them, and then we store the data in a common single file. And also, before we store this, right, during the course of storing the file, the data from the various source system, when we extract it, as and when we extract it, we transform the data and we store it in the common file. Okay, so what kind of transformation that we do? We clean the data. Okay, in the case of star schema, what we do is we create, we make sure that all the dimension data tables are stored in the proper order. Okay, and then the fact table will get populated. Anyway, don't worry about the star schema, dimension and fact table at this moment. As we move further, you will learn what is star schema, what is dimension, everything we'll see in detail. Okay. Net, as part of business intelligence, once we receive the data, we clean the data, we transform the data, and once the data is clean, once the data is processed well, using a business intelligence tool like Power BI or Tableau or other Microsoft BI tools like SSRS, SSAS or ThoughtSpot, like right, so MicroStrategy, using which what we do is we will generate reports. Once the data is clean and the data is in the desired format, we generate report using the tools. You can also use your Excel sheet. Okay, instead of using Excel, we are using advanced tools like Power BI, other BI related tools, because these tools have a lot of features in it. Using these tools, importantly, we can do the automation, data refresh, everything we can do automation here. And once you generate the dashboard and report, it is very much helpful for the respective stakeholders to extract the insights from this one. By looking at the dashboard or the report, they gain a quick insights. These insights are very much helpful for the stakeholders to make the right decision at the right time. In case of any issues, they can make the course correction then and there. So that is what business intelligence is pretty much all about. As part of this, we do data preparation, data management also, that falls under business intelligence. And finally, we create visuals. With the help of visuals, data visualization, we get to know what is happening currently and what has happened in the past. And also we can do quarter on quarter, year on year. Yeah, sorry. Okay, so almost all the companies now, they start use business intelligence tools because they wanted to maintain an edge over the rivalry companies. And dashboard, and this is the dashboard, and reports, you would have seen it, right? Even in college and other places, we share the reports to the management. Okay, and using Power BI, we will see how we are going to solve this problem. Okay, the business problems, any given business problem, how we are going to solve it. So, and also we discussed about why Power BI, why not other tools, BI tools like Tableau and the things, because the number one reason is cost. It is much cheaper compared to Tableau and other tools. And also Power BI is a self-service analytical tool. What do you mean by self-service? It doesn't require in-depth technical knowledge to generate the report or dashboards. Anybody can, with a little learning curve, they can learn Power BI and they can start develop the dashboards, scorecards and reports, so on and so forth. It is much easier, even a layman can also learn it in a lesser duration. and they can start develop the reports without depending on the IT department. They can do everything. All right. So and also the number of features are very good compared to other BA tools or other self-service BA tools. Okay, so a lot of BA tools are there. Power BI falls under self-service BA tools, including Tableau also. Tableau and Power BI are all called as self-service Power BI, self-service business intelligence. That means you don't have to have too much of technical knowledge to generate report dashboard. And data connectivity, you can connect 100 different sources of 100 different types of source systems. You can connect the data. And also we discussed about the Magic Quadrant and Microsoft Power BI. That is the one in the leaders quadrant of the Gartner's Magic Quadrant. And this is the architecture we discussed about it. Data sources, different data sources. Once you extract the data and when you do the transformation, data cleaning, everything, and ultimately, right, when you join all these different data sets, and then when you store it in a common format, you develop a dashboard and publish it on cloud, right? So publishing on cloud is a one-time job, but the data in the report or dashboard, whatever you publish, that one should get refreshed frequently, okay, periodically. Fine, I put everyone in mute because some background noise, okay. Fine. So using gateway, we refresh the data, and also we discussed about various components, Power Query and Power View and Power BI Desktop. I will just show you now quickly with this tool what you can do, what these components are. Look here, this is what Power Query. Power Query, and let's say this is my Power BI Desktop. And when I click the home ribbon, here I can see the transform data. This is what your Power Query editor. So why do we have to go to Power Query editor? Because we can do all kind of data transformation. For example, you wanted to add a new column, or you want to add a new column based on the existing column, or you wanted to build a formula. And then based on the formula you want to create a new table, or you want to address any data related issues, you go here and for a classic example is the data type. Sometimes the data types, whatever the data that we load it in Power BI, what it does is it transforms the data in its own format. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to do little bit the transformation. We need to we need to make some changes. Okay, I will show you what those kind of transformations are all. Yeah, yes, Mohan, we'll go step by step. Okay, I'll just give you a quick recap. So this is what Power Query editor, and the next one is Power View. Power View is the one I'll just show you here. Power View is the one, this one, the visualization. So this is the Power BI. Power View. This is called your Power View, and next one is Power BI Desktop. The entire thing is called your Power BI Desktop. This incorporates Power Query, Power View, and also you have Power Pivot. Okay, Power BI service is different thing. Okay, and Power Map, we will see what is that, and Power Q&A is nothing but natural language processing. You type anything. If you have any questions, you just type it in the chat window. How we type it? When you, let's say in the e-commerce website, they have the chat facility. If you have any queries related to any product, when you type it, the person sitting on the other side will answer your queries. Similarly, in the dashboard visuals, you can ask questions. Based on your questions, automatically report will get generated, right, in line with your question. And then you can Power BI mobile apps. You can install Power BI in your mobile phone also. We'll share the link also to install it. So all of you would request you to start download this one now. So here is the link. Start download it now and install it. I'll just go to my website. I guess all of you have a laptop or desktop, right? Let me just one second. Microsoft.com. You just go to Microsoft.com. en-us download. I will share this link to you all in the chat window. I don't know how many of you have connected to. Sorry, this is the one is for 365, Microsoft 365, and we'll look at here this one. Ignore the link which I shared it. Okay, details.aspx. Yes, this is the one 5720. 57 no, not that one. I think this is the one. Or else what we do is we will go to download directly. Instead of type, yeah, I'm a bit lazy guy. Let me do one thing. Power BI desktop download. Yes, it is there. powerbi.microsoft.com. If you scroll down here, right, so you can download Power Advanced download options, and you can click download, and you can, one second, if I select this one, it opens this one, right, on premises and Power BI report. So this also you can start report builder. Look here, report builder. I'll share this link to you all. Okay, don't worry. The chat window I will share it. You just go here, and then what you do is you just probably we can click this one, advanced download options. 58494, yeah, advanced. You click this link for Power BI desktop. The chat window. You just check the chat window, and from the chat window, probably those of you have not connected your WhatsApp from your laptop. What I would say, you can copy it, you can forward it to your email. Okay, this one, and then you can from your desktop or laptop you can start download using this link, or else you can simply type it here. It will not take much time. powerbi.com, powerbi.microsoft.com, en-us downloads. When you come here, click advanced download options. Advanced download options. It will take you here. You don't have to change anything here, and simply you can download it. When you click this one, 64 Power BI desktop 64. If you have 64-bit, you can use it. If you don't have 64-bit, don't worry, you can use this one. This is for 32-bit. I guess most of you have 64-bit. Just select this, and next. Yes, it will download it. Anyhow, for your sake, I'll download it once again. I guess all of you are downloading it side by side with me. Am I correct? In case of any issues, you just type it in the chat window. Some questions. Yes, sir, no issues. Okay, Basuraj, good. And with this, now you understood how to do that. This is the one. Look here, Google Play. I'll just share this link also. You can probably install it in your mobile phone also. Go to Play Store and install it on your mobile phone. Yeah, fine, Mohan. Noting down steps. Okay. Here, you don't have to note down the steps. When you go to this website, download, simply saying, right, to simply put download everything. That's all. Whatever is there, right, you can download it. That's all. See, advanced download options. Go there and download it, the Power BI desktop. And the next one is you just take the link, okay, and then install it in your mobile. But this is not, immediate thing. You can install it also, or you can do it now also. Microsoft on-premises data gateway. This also you can download. Standard mode. Download standard mode. Gateway install.exe. Next one is Power BI report server. Report builder. Power BI report server is for on-premises. To develop any report and host it on your local server, you can use that one. Very simple. Windows above 7, sir. Ideally, if you have above 7, that would be good. I think so. You can try it out. Okay. I don't think so. You will not have any. You will not have any issues. Okay. I think. Report builder also you can start download it. Report builder. I will just recap it quickly. Once you go to this site, if you scroll down, you will find Power BI desktop. In this, you go to advanced download options. When you click the advanced download options, it will take you to the next page. The next page, simply click download. That's it. Power BI desktop. You don't have. When you click download, again it will take you to the next thing. Okay, next page, and here 64.exe. Okay. Here you have download option is there. Next is there. When you click next, it will automatically download. It will start download. So look here. You ideally you use the folder name as PBI, something like that, meaning PBI software, something like that, or PBI downloads. Create a meaningful folder, PBI downloads. You download it there, and Google Play also you can install it side by side from your mobile. Send this link to your WhatsApp or email ID, and then you can download it. And then standard mode you download it for gateway, and on-premises reporting. It's pretty straightforward. These two are pretty straightforward. Click and download it. That's all. Give it a try. Yeah, Windows 7 you try it out. Okay, I don't think so you will have any issues there. Here it did not mention anything about this one, the version and all. I think it should work there also. Yes, Deepak. Same step, yeah. Simple, download everything. But only thing is here, the first one alone, you need to use advanced download options and make sure that you are downloading 64-bit. And even if you don't download these and all, fine. A report server and report builder, you download it. That's all. The important tool is desktop. This is the one we are going to spend time. Once your download is over, once you are able to download it successfully, just come here and then Power BI desktop setup 64.exe. You just double click on this one. Very easy. The installation step is very simple. You don't have to do any configuration. Only installation you are supposed to do. That's all. And click close Power BI desktop. See, since I already installed it, it is saying that you need to close the Power BI desktop. Already I opened the Power BI desktop also. Here simply you need to click next, 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 that's all. In my case, since I already installed, it was raising an error and it directly came to finish. But in your case, you just simply, but don't make any changes to the folder. Okay, don't change the folder name and all. Whatever the default name given, you simply click next, next. All you are supposed to do is click next, 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 finish. That's all. And next, the report server. Report server also I already installed it. It was asking Microsoft, do we need to create Microsoft account? One second, let me just see here. No, I did not sign in here. It doesn't require any sign in, Mohan. It doesn't require any sign in. You can download it. Only for the cloud. Look here. So this is the one. If you want to publish it on cloud, app.powerbi.com. This is where you need to use. This is where you need to register it. Okay. But it requires the Office ID, email ID. Otherwise, you will not be able to log in here. I tried with my Gmail, it was not working. But with Office ID, I am able to create a credentials here. This we will see it later. Okay. But to download this one, yeah, Office ID, yes. Chaitra, how about others? Chaitra says my voice is breaking. Maybe your net connection is, maybe slow. Yeah. What do you mean by yes? Are you able to hear me clearly? If you say yes, you are able to hear clearly. Okay, I am audible. Okay. That means not able to hear you clearly. Only Yashaswini and Chaitra, only you both are not able to hear, right? Maybe your signal is problem and others are able to hear me. See, if there is a problem from my side, the same issue will be posed by everyone. Is it fine now? I think, yeah, my net connection is very good. I don't have any issues because I attend office meeting, everything, right? So that's the reason why I went for the higher plan. Yeah, simply I just type it here. Okay, simply download the files, whatever I have shown. Okay, once the installation, once the files get downloaded successfully, double click standard mode. Use standard mode. For which one standard mode? The for this one, right? One second, I'll just on-premises gateway, on-premises data gateway. Yes, on-premises. Very good, Basuraj. Deepak and Rajesh, hope you already installed it, right? Fine. Yeah, the last time when we discussed it, you installed it. I guess all of you are installing it side by side. Once the installation is over, let me know. We will continue the theory part. and here where is that gateway install.exe. Since Power BI desktop is the free version, there are some limitations. You cannot use all the fully featured fully functional thing. So on premises, here also I used it, I already installed it. And here Power BI report builder and report server. The report builder takes some time because it takes time to compute the space requirements. Yes, next, and I accept the terms. I think I did not install this in my system. Install it, that's all. Report builder. Next one is report server. Do it one after another. Obviously, Windows will not allow you to do the parallel installation. It will take some time. Only 4 you need to install it, that's all. The report builder takes a lot of time, though I have 16 GB RAM in my system. Obviously in your system, if you have 4 GB or 8 GB, it will be a bit slower, but anyhow, don't worry, okay, let it do it. Yes, Basavaraj. First desktop, you install desktop, okay? Power BI desktop. Once that has been done, you tell me, okay, we'll go step by step. So here there is no sequence, okay, you can install it in any order, okay? But the desktop, I would ideally suggest, right, you first install desktop and then these are the additional components, okay, you can install it. In parallel also, okay, in parallel either you can use it or you can use this, not parallel, sorry, sequentially, okay, either you use this or use this. But importantly, once you install Power BI desktop, the rest of them you can install it in any order. Okay, I'm running out of space, 11 GB. Maybe because of that also it takes some time. Let me do one thing. STB, and here how much space I have? I have 354 GB. Very good. Hortonworks. I just copy the Hortonworks here. Oh, this is the one. I did not click yes. Yes. If you have 4 GB RAM, it will take some time, but before you install it, make sure that you have sufficient space in your C drive. If you have any bigger file like me, you can move it to another folder and then you can start, or side by side you can do it. So in my case, I'm copying this one here, the bigger file. At the same time, I'm doing the installation, but provided that you should have sufficient, at least 15 GB free space should be there in your C drive. Component registration. To check if speech recognition is already there, but so far I've seen the speech recognition is not there. If you ask any question, if you talk to the tool, it should reply you by refreshing the charts in your dashboard or in your reports. That kind of feature, if they implement it, it will be very good. It will be fantastic. Likewise, close to 10 ideas I have submitted. You can also go ahead and submit it if you have any ideas. Power BI desktop, this encompasses these 3 components. And the next one is, so the installation part is over. Now those of you installed, okay, anyhow, let me wait for some more time. I hope all of you must have installed it, right, by now, Power BI desktop. And Yashaswini, Mohan Kumar, and even including Basavaraj, you installed it, the desktop at least. Okay, that is enough. That is the Chaitra. Have you installed it? Chaitra and Asha, Rajesh, and Rajesh you already installed. Rajesh and Deepak. I don't have to worry about you guys because you already installed it, because last week you contacted me. I suggested you to download it. Fine. Those of you have not yet installed, or probably if you could have joined it by your mobile phone, you can watch my today's session video. I will upload it in my channel, YouTube channel. You can watch it. By watching this video, you should be able to install it. Okay. But the important component is this one, desktop. Okay, this is where we'll be spending a lot of time. Okay, in this, when you open this desktop, what you see is, let me open it fresh. So go to the start button. If you have already installed it, type Power BI, and here you will see on the start a Power BI desktop. Report builder, whatever you installed, you can see it here. Report builder is there, and desktop. You just open this Power BI desktop by double clicking on it. It will take some time. Before you work on any software, what I would suggest is make sure that you are working on the latest version of the software or so. It is always good, because if you install the older version and then if you some new functionalities will not be available. It is always a good practice. Before you start work on any software tool, make sure that you are working on the latest release, latest version. But there are some exception in the case of programming languages. Though latest version or latest release are available, it will not be stable. But when it comes to tools like this, make sure that you are installing the latest version. How will you check the later version whether it is the latest version? When you open the Power BI desktop, initially you will get something like that. Here I have already created various dashboards. By selecting any one of the dashboard, I can open that. Okay. Since you are completely new one to this one, what you do is probably you can just click cross mark, and then you just come here. When you click the cross mark, you will find the Power BI desktop screen like this. This is what called as canvas. This is what called as your canvas. See the line which is there, right? That rectangle kind of thing. So this is your page size. You can increase the page size also. I will show you how to increase this page size also. For example, if you go to this one, you have something called values, and here you have something called the format. When you click format, you have page size, and you can increase the page size also. 16:3.9 and custom. When you select custom, and you can specify the height and width. Look here, so this one will increase it. If I increase my height, my height will go high. Or you can specify something like the 1230 something. Look here, the height and the width, right? So let's say 1300 something like that. You can increase the height and width, okay. But ideally what we will do is we will use the 16:9. This is the standard height and width of the canvas. This is where we will be creating the visuals and plotting the charts, everything, okay. And also the KPIs, everything will be highlighting it here, okay. We'll be putting it here. And on the left side, when you see, there are three icons here. So this is the one is called your report. The one what we are saying is currently, this is where we will be creating the visuals. What do you mean by visuals? So on the right side you can see the visualization frame, and also if you click on this, you will find fields here. Initially the fields are blank here because we did not import any data here. Only when you import the data, that data file will have columns, and then you can find the data file name and the associated columns here. Here you have visualizations, right? On the left side, when you select any one of the chart here, that one will get displayed here. When you select this one will come automatically here. And then if you import any data, for example, I just go to get data here itself. It will open the window. Here I am going to use Excel workbook. When I come here, for example, I have something called Walmart sales, something like that. And also I will tell you one link, okay. I will just share my GitHub link also. Look here, github.com. Anyhow, I forgot to send you this one. Anyhow, I will send you now itself. If you go to my GitHub, you can download everything. So by just selecting code and download zip, you can download everything. Anyhow, will upload more files here in the upcoming days. and will let you know, so that you can download everything there. I just sent the link in the chat window. All of you please copy paste it in your local system. Save this one. In future you can download all the files, all the Power BI related files, script files, everything you can find it here. Data set, everything. You can go and download it. All the data files are there here. I sent the link in the chat window. You simply probably copy it and send it to your email ID. From your laptop you can using, or best thing you can join, you can connect to WhatsApp from web.whatsapp.com, and then if you go here, all you need to do is just it'll, okay, before opening that it will ask you for the QR code. If you show the QR code from your mobile, then it will open this one here. So you can use WhatsApp in your laptop itself, so that whatever file I send it here, you can download it easily. Fine. See here, I just imported the Excel file, right? I'll just show you one more time in the interest of you all, because a few of you are not able to hear me. So with this I understood your net speed is not so good. Yes, Mohan, I will repeat it once again. Okay, which one you wanted? You want to show the GitHub link. So this is the GitHub link. All of you probably start do it now itself. This is where I stored all the data files. Okay, and when you go here, you will find something called code, and you scroll down, click download zip. And also I would advise you all to create a user ID in github.com. It is not mandatory, but you can create it and try to be used to that, because in the software development environment, what we do is we use GitHub to maintain the version control. You should be knowing the process also. Okay, so once you develop report data, everything will be uploading it on GitHub. Okay, maybe this is your development folder. So once you are done with this, you will not have access to QA folder. Once you are done with this, you need to communicate to your US team. Okay, or US you have some QA team, or maybe in Pune the same project testing center will be there in Pune office. So what they do is they have a QA folder. Once you tell them all the files and all the scripts, whatever you developed, a data file, everything, right? You need to tell them. What they do is they will have access to move these code and data set, everything to their folder. Instead of Power BI, they have Power BI QA folder will be there. So what they do is they download all your and they will test it there. Once that is done, or if they find any defects, they will create a defect log and they will log all your defects there. You need to fix it. The respective author has to fix it. For example, Mohan, in his report we found some discrepancy with respect to the formula which he used it. And also when I looked at the Basavaraj dashboard, the KPI was, additional KPI needs to be incorporated, or KPI, a specific KPI is missing. That will also be there in your defect log. And the author name is Basavaraj. For the formula mistake, it was done by the Mohan, because he was the one developed that one. Okay, developed that report or dashboard. Similarly, the defect log will be maintained separately. GitHub, you should be knowing it. I don't want to mix up so many things. Let us first understand, how to work with Power BI. Later on, we will see in the software development life cycle what and all we do later. Fine. So now you are all set. I guess all of you must have downloaded this one. It will take some time. Code, click download zip. When you do this, it will download it. Make sure that you are storing it in a meaningful directory. Okay, Power BI downloads. That is, you can store everything there. All the zip files, data files. Once you unzip it, you will find all these data files in your local system. Fine. Next, I go to Power BI, and here what I am going to do is, instead of using this one, I am going to use and get data. You can use both, okay. And here what I do is, I have various options. You want to open Excel workbook, you want to open Power BI data sets, Power BI. So I am going to use a workbook here now. And what we will do is, in the next session, I will show you how to connect to the Microsoft SQL Server, and also I will show you how to connect to MySQL Server, and later we will see how to connect to Azure Cloud. In the Azure Cloud, we will have one SQL database, how to connect them also, and various files we will see it, okay. And at this moment, I am going to open an Excel file, connect. You will find this file in my zip file. The GitHub, you download the zip file, right? I think you can find this file there. Okay, so this is my Excel file, right? 1 second, I'll just open the file also here to show you. This is my file. Okay, this is my file. I have different tabs here. One is sales order data, sales territory data, sales data, reseller data, date data, product data, customer data. Likewise, the data got stored in various folders in order to understand meaningfully which one, which data belong to which table, something like that, okay. Fine. Here what I am going to do is, so now you understood, these are all sheets in my single Excel sheet. Look here. Okay, Walmart, right? Yeah, this is the one. So here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and how many more is there? Yeah, 6, 7 is there, right? So, yeah, 1, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah, 7 files are there. Yeah, 2, 4, yeah, more than it is there. Okay, sales data, if you scroll further, right, sales data is there, and overall it shows everything here, okay. And more than, so all these are nothing but the tabs here, sales data and product data and customer data. Yeah, so this look here, sales order data, all these sheets are appearing here. You can select whichever sheet related data is required for your analysis. You must be wondering, how do I know which table? This is nothing but the sheet is nothing but, you just think that it is a table, and each table what column is there, just look at it. First you need to be familiar with the data also. As a data analyst, this is also one of the responsibility. You need to understand what value is stored in which column. If you don't understand any specific column, then you need to ask the business analyst who is having the domain expertise. They can help you out to understand them. This is a date column, date table. The date table, what we do is, we store the date and also the year, quarter, month, and also we store the month in this format, and the full date and month key. So this is how they stored it, the data, given data. And I need the product detail also. Product data is also required, because I need to find out the sales for the product, right? Product wise sales I need to understand. And also customer, and the customer I selected a product key, order key, sales order line key, and all the values are there. Let us select this one. I am going to select load now. I just click load now. It will take some time. Look here, it is in process. Once the data get loaded from those specific sheets, you can find those sheets name just beneath the fields pane. Are you all clear? I hope all of you are with me. And those of you have not yet installed, don't worry. Okay, don't worry, I will not rush. Okay, we will in the next session also, I will just help you, walk you through on this, but I would advise you all to watch my today's video and do the groundwork whenever you are free. Okay, since tomorrow being Saturday, I guess for you all off, you can try it out. The data are being loaded. 4 sheets I loaded it here. Done. We are done with this. Customer, date, and product and sales. When you expand this one, you can find all the columns here. Whatever the columns belong to customer, that will be there. How many columns are there? 3, 6, 7. In the customer sheet, when you go here, customer data, okay. Yeah, in the customer data, it shows customer data as customer, right? Yeah, customer, you have 3, 6, 7 columns, right? 3, 6, 7. City, country, region, state, province, postal code, and country, region is there, and customer key, customer ID, customer key, customer ID. It is not, the column names are not displaying in this order. It is not displaying in this order. When you see, you can find 3 dots here. When you select here, you can, what you can do is you can add a new column. You can create your own column. Okay, new column you can, or if you don't want any one of the columns, existing column, you can delete it from this model. See what happened now. This Excel sheet, whatever data were there, I just loaded it in my Power BI. So all these data got loaded in the memory. Supposing when I delete, for example, customer key is not required to me, I can remove it, because in my report I am not going to use customer key. If I use customer key, it will be confusing. Customer name is important to find out which customer, probably region wise, customer wise, top 10 customers. In that case, customer name is important, customer key is not important. If you show it to CEO of your company customer key instead of showing the customer name, you think you'll be happy. So this column is required technically. As a data architect, you should retain this column behind the scene, customer key, but we don't need it. What we do is we can delete it from my model here. But when you delete from model, when you delete it from the model, but anyhow it is not advisable, don't delete it. Okay, I just the key, especially when you see the key column, don't delete it. Okay, and the reason why I told you, whichever column you don't need it, you can remove it. Here all the columns are required reasonably, and here date column, especially in the case of date, you don't make any changes. Fine. So now if you find any one of the column, extended amount or product standard, product key, reseller key, and sales, especially the key and all, don't remove it. And for example, I don't need this one, product standard, something like standard cost is required, everything is required. Yeah, extended amount, something like that. So this column is not required. Delete from model. If you delete from model, what will happen is this one will get deleted only from your memory. These data got stored in the memory, got loaded in the memory. If you remove any of the column, or if you rename anything, or if you make changes to the data, everything will happen only in the memory. Your operating system file, the file that is there in your OS, it will remain intact. It will not get changed. Okay, it will not get changed. That is the beauty of this one. Okay, so whatever changes you do it, what do you mean by changes? Removing the column, or creating a new column in the existing table based on some formula. All these changes will happen only in the memory. Okay, fine. You saw all these fields. Now, if you wanted to see the data type assigned to each variable, so you can go to something else. Next pane is data pane. This icon, when you click this icon, data icon, and when you select, for example, sales, it display the data of your sales sheet. Okay, here if you see, for example, you wanted to see the data type of territory or order line ki sale amount. If you want to see the sale amount, look here, sale amount got selected, and if you look at on the top, the data type is decimal number. This is the decimal number. And for example, if you have quantity is supposed to be whole number. If it is a decimal number, you can go ahead and make it whole number. Quantity cannot be a decimal number. If it is a decimal number, you can convert as a whole number. For example, product standard cost is there. Here I don't need it as a decimal number, whole number. You can change the data type. Okay, before you make changes, it is asking us for our confirmation. Once you confirm it, this one will get converted as a whole number. Usually cost and all we don't convert as a whole number because it has to be a decimal number, just to show you how to change the data type, everything. Okay, how to change the data type in case any of the data type, any column data, right, if that has been wrongly assigned with different data type, how to change that. And look here, order date key, this is all number type here. Order date key, look here, this is a number type. So in the case of number numeric columns, what it does is it assigns prefixes with sigma sign. Sigma is nothing but aggregation. What do you mean by aggregation? Summarization. What are the functions that we use it to aggregate the data? Average, minimum, maximum, and what else? Minimum, maximum, average, and median. If you want to find out the median, right? Yeah, minimum, count. Yeah, count. Good, Basuraj. Okay, Mohan. Yeah, good. Right. So count. If you want to count, these are all the aggregation function or summarizing function. So in that case, you need to do aggregation. So, but in the case of order date key, just because in the Excel file we stored the order date key in the number type, it doesn't mean this column is an aggregated column, right? Or this column is candidate for aggregation. See, if you take average on this column, does it make any sense? No, right? So what you do is you just go here. We selected order date key, and when you see on top here, it shows order date key and the whole number. Fine, let it be the whole number because it cannot be a decimal. And what we do is we will go and say count, don't summarize. Okay, order date key, look here, the sigma sign has gone. Due date key, so even the due date key, we don't need this one. So these are all kind of called as transformation, data transformation. We are transforming the data because we store the data in Excel file, but when we load the Excel file in Power BI, it stores or assigns along with the data with different data types, sometimes, and also it wrongly interpret all the numeric variables or candidate for aggregation. Can't we change to date data type? Yes, we can change to date. Oh, this one, right? For date key, yes, we can change it to date type also. Usually what we do is in the case of data warehouse and all, we will be keeping it this way. Yeah, in that case, what we will do is we will try that one also. Since you said right, date, yes, date is available, date time is also available. You can convert the date data type also. Not only convert the column to date data type. No, it automatically converts. In this case, it is not doing it. Again, to convert the date data type, it should be in the proper format. The data should be stored in the proper format. And 1 second, whole number. Here we use date time. So it's something like year hyphen month hyphen date, something like that. Okay, only when you store that way, you can convert as a date data type. You cannot convert it just like that. Okay, fine. So this is how you can. And also when you look at the 1 second, instead of this one, let me do one thing. So we are just viewing the data. So what we will do is, I closed it mistakenly. This is one way of doing the transformation, changing the data type, and whichever numeric column that are not candidate for summarization, you can remove the summarize option. Okay, and whichever columns are not required for your analysis, you can remove those columns. In case you find any data discrepancy, redundant values, duplicate values, you can delete it. Once you are done with this, you need to use that clean data to generate report or whatever you want to do it, right? You can do it, but end of the day your data should be clean. So in order to clean that, we are using something called transform data. 1 second, it opens this one. Excel workbook. I just go down here. Yeah, for the time being, let it be there. So there you found load and transform. Usually what we do is we click transform instead of using load. It will directly load the data, as well as you can make changes to the data there. Okay. So each column should be transformed to meaningful data type. And does it mandate to do for all columns? Yes. First of all, we don't use too many columns, Mohan. So what we do is, that's the reason why we come up with some design document. The design document, what are the columns that are required for our report, right? In that, it's kind of a simple Excel file. In the Excel file, what we do is design doc. We call that a source to target mapping. Okay, it's kind of a report design. So which all columns that are required for dashboard, first we will determine that. Those columns only we will come and select it here. We're not going to select blindly everything. And again, we don't have to transform each and every column. It is waste of time. Okay, whichever columns that are required. For example, I just go here and I click the ribbon here, home ribbon, and here I have transform data, and I am going to select the transform data here. Actually, we are supposed to play around here. Okay, see here it automatically considered this one as a date data type, and the fiscal year, and yeah. So here I should have showed you the date here. Correct. We were just looking at this. See what we looked at in the data window was the reflection of our Excel sheet data. But when you do transform, it automatically converts the date related column as like this. Okay, you can find the calendar icon just before the column name, right? It automatically converted. You need to use transform to understand the data type of each and every variable, or the data type which got assigned to each Excel column. You can find it here. Okay, you can find it here, and here also we can make changes here. For example, here you have month and full date and a month key is there. Fine, this is the one is fine. Next, what I'm going to do, I'm going to select sales. In the sales column I have sales amount, everything is there, and cost is there, everything is there. 1 second, unit price. Supposing you wanted to, it's all good. So the order quantity is already in proper data type, and if you want to filter it anything, you can filter it here. Okay, 1 second, I will just show you. This preview may be up to 17 days old. Refresh, because I know for the other batches I gave the demo. I did not refresh it, so every time you need to refresh it, because whenever you make changes, sometimes I make changes to the Excel file also, the data changes. Okay, so here I don't need all the columns. Okay, whichever columns that are required for my analysis, I can select it here. For example, territory key, due date key, product key, customer key, reseller key, I don't need it here. Sorry, here what we will do is cancel it. And here, yeah, when you need to right click on it, on this name you need to right click on it, remove. Okay, remove. Or if you want to duplicate a column, duplicate it. Okay, whichever columns are not required for me, I can remove it. Product key, order quantity, unit price, product standard cost, total product cost, everything is there. Fine. So next, I just removed one column here. I need that to be reflected here, right? Because in the memory, whatever the column that I removed it should get removed in my memory also, right? Close and apply. When you close, I want to close this one because I'm not going to do any more transformation or any more changes. And also apply that to whatever the changes I made, that should apply to my memory. The memory, all this data gets stored, right? That specific column, whatever I removed, that one will get removed. It got removed. Next one is, this is what called as your Power Pivot model. This is where you will see the model here, data model. You can probably minimize, you can click this one so that it will get minimized, and you can see the customer, it automatically detects the relationship between the tables. But still we need to validate, are these relationships are really correct or not. Okay, we need to check. See here the product is connected with order quantity, so you can check by clicking the manage relationship. Customer, the table sales customer key, to table customer key, and the sales table product key got linked with my product table product key. This is with product key. Don't get confused just because it is there, it is related to product. No, just to validate that, click manage relationships. If you see here, in the sales table, supposing somebody is your manager asking you, can you tell me what is the customer, which customer they purchased. For example, we expand this one. Let me close this one. Because of this, I'm not able to expand it. So here you have the customer ID, customer name is there. To check that, what you do is you just go here and in the data window only you can see it. The data window, you can see what data is there in this column. For example, here if I go here, the customer table, what value is there in the customer column. The customer column, customer name is there. Here, if the manager is asking me by giving the, let's say, your manager is giving you only this table, and he's asking, can you tell me the top 10 customer, sales, top 10 customer sales, in the sense which all customers they purchased they purchased with higher amount, or which all the customer sales amount is more, right? Top 10 higher sales by customer. Okay, customer name is required. So here we stored customer key. To get the customer name, the sales table we have customer key column is there. Using this key, you need to join with this table customer key in order to get your customer name. This is how you need to navigate to this. How many of you are familiar with data model design? Data model design, Court's rule, the star schema. Okay, don't worry if you don't know. So now you understood, right? So here one is there, here many is there, one to many. So one customer can order more than one time, right? One or more than one time. Let's say you are a customer, Mohan is a customer, he ordered product in my shop one time, or he could have ordered more than one time also, one or more than one time. Had he not ordered, how can I call him as a customer, right? So that's the reason why one to many. The customer definitely you would have ordered in my shop probably one time or more than one time you would have ordered. The star represents many, one to many. Similarly, product. A product can be sold one or more than one time. Probably Asha would have purchased this product today. In this table, Asha's transaction will be there. Order date key, order key is not, sales order line key. Yeah, sales order line key is there. And yesterday probably Chaitra would have purchased, or Basavaraj would have purchased some items. Okay, so one product can be purchased more than one time also. So this is a many table. So the customer and product table one time, because it's just think this is a dimension table. Okay, and this is kind of a fact table. Okay, and here we need to make sure that the relationship are correctly automatically deduct the relationship. Which one? Power BI. One way it is good, but still we need to make sure that are those relationships are correctly established or not. In the interview, they will ask you, when you store when you see, when I told you I removed a column here and I made some data type changes, everything, and finally I generated some reports or dashboards. When I store this file, where the data will get stored, whatever the data got stored in memory, where will it get stored? It will get stored in the form of this way. Customer sales, fact and dimension tables, it will get stored. You need to tell that way. Okay, the data will get stored in fact and dimension table in the PBIX file. The extension of this Power BI file is .pbix. Okay, so they will ask you what is the extension of the file in the case of screening. Okay, what do you mean by no sir? Sorry, I did not get Mohan. What do you say? Oh, yeah, okay, you said you don't know, right? So you don't know the dimensional modeling. We'll discuss that one also. Very simple, okay, the model, but any of that is very much important. Okay, but most of them, they simply based on some key they connected. And you believe me or not, in one of the biggest project when I worked with Franklin Templeton, or not when I worked with Cognizant, there is a project called Franklin Templeton Customers Project was there. In that project, 50 members were there. Okay, and just because the data model somewhere they messed up, during the UAT time, customers they found a lot of issues. Major escalation happened. 50 member team. So the data model design is very much important. Got it? The first one is to generate the reports or the visual charts, everything. The second one is to view the data, and third one is to visualize the relationship between the tables, and this one is to transform the data, to view the data type, or to view the data type assigned to the Excel data, you can come and see it. Look here, you are asking about, is there any way can I convert the date? You don't have to do. By default, it automatically convert it as a date data type. Sometimes what will happen is we have to convert it explicitly. Okay, some cases like product. Let me go to product, and standard cost is there, and unit price, list price, something. If you want to convert the whole number, you need to change the data type. That's all. You can change it there also. Okay, the data change type, you just go here and then you just change it to whole number. Replace current. Okay, column type, replace current. I made changes to the data type. Look here on the right side, we have something called applied steps. So it tells us what all the changes we made it to the data. Okay, supposing I delete the color here. If I remove this column, look here, removed columns. Whatever the steps that we applied to this data in the Power Query editor, it means the kind of a record. Okay, something like record, what changes. Suppose you want to click this one and to check what type, it will take you here. And then whatever you are seeing here, okay, not that one, okay, sorry, the color, right, color and list price and those kind of things you can see it. And next one, removed column, which column you removed it, the column removed, it will show here, and then change type, it will show, and navigation. So this is just a navigation what we used it. Okay, importantly the type, what is change type, removed columns, forget about source and navigation. The second, the type and remove, whatever the changes we made it. If you want to see it, you can go back and clicking the specific step, you can see it. Okay, and also it maintains this one. And finally you go to ribbon and close and apply. When you apply this, whatever changes, so look here, the data type I changed it, that one will got refreshed here. You need to wait for some time. Fine, my data model is up. And one more, look here, I ignored this one. Somehow due to oversight, I ignored it. Here I have the date key is there, right? So date key. So here you cannot have a standalone table like this because a relational database. So this date key, I am going to connect it to this date key. You need to wait for some time, working on it. Look here, it created a link here. Okay, if you think you don't need this relationship, right click. When you select this one, it will become yellow color. Right click and then delete it. It will ask you, are you sure you want to delete this relationship? It will ask for your confirmation. In that case, it is not required because it is all interconnected. Okay, before you once you make changes to your data type, or if you don't need any columns, right, discard the columns, and if you find any duplicate records, delete it. Or some cases, let's say your manager is asking you to incorporate only, for example, here I did not select region table. I should have selected region table. For example, okay, I just want to select sales here, and here I don't have any country key, right? Okay, for example, I don't need 212, 215 and 25, except the 212, 253, 262 products. I want you to generate the report. Okay, you can do filtering it. Look here, filtered rows, removed columns. If you select filtered rows, right, you just filtered rows, but if you go and select it here, you can see it here, whatever we filtered it here. This one you can see it here. You can filter it. Suppose you have country, if you want to see the sales for a specific country, you can select only those countries, so that you don't have to use the entire data, because your manager want to see only 2 countries report. So select only those countries. Okay, likewise you can do filtering, and you can remove the columns that are not required for your analysis. Change the data, make sure the data types are correctly used, and also make sure that the aggregations, wherever the aggregations are not required, you exclude that one. Okay, the retain the column, but you need to change the property for that column saying that it is not aggregated column. Certain things you need to do it in the data window, or you can do it here also. Okay. But initially, it will take some time for you to understand this. And so look here. Here, I told you the sales here, and here you can change the column name also. This is also another kind of territory, transformation. Territory. That's all. You can, if you instead of saying territory key, you can make it. You can change the column name. You can change the data type. You can remove those columns are not required for you, and also you can filter the data that are required for you. Okay. Supposing your manager is asking you between so and so date alone, I want you to generate the report. So for that we will use a DAX expression. Then so see, look here, I did not apply the previous changes, right? And if I try to make changes, it will not. Previous changes, if I apply it, and then only it will allow me to apply the next changes. Fine, it's already 10:50 now. Fine. So what we will do is, I'm going to wrap up as of this, and I will share this data file to you also. I will check once again in my GitHub and see that if this file is available there or not. If it is not there, I'll upload it there, and you can start practice it. What I would suggest, right, I will send you the link and the video link also to install MySQL Server and the Microsoft SQL Server. Okay, what we will do is, in the upcoming session we will work with, you should be knowing how to connect to the database also. Most of the cases, the customers, they have some data warehouse. The data warehouse data are stored in RDBMS table. So in that case, you should know how to connect to those database. For example, you have MySQL database, and the MySQL database, when you select it, so you need to give in my case, I have installed it in my system. In your case also, you are supposed to install your system. And database is an option. I think so. Okay, here you need to give retail or something like that. You should be knowing the database name also. I'll share the video, okay, link, how to install both the SQL Server as well as the MySQL Server, and you install it. It's very easy step, okay. And what we will do is, here I have only one table is there, I just selected it, okay. And you need to select this, you need to make sure that you enable the checkbox here, and then you can import it here. I have various databases are available, okay, and I'll show you how to connect to that one also. Connect to that database and load the table. Importing the data from Excel, fine, but you should be good with importing the data from your SQL Server, MySQL Server. At least if you know 10 or 15 different sources, you can tell them at the time of interview, these are the source systems I used. So OData feed, here we use the REST API. Using the REST API, you simply import the data. So what is REST API? How many of you are aware of this one? Don't worry if you don't know, we'll explain in the next session, okay. First we will familiar with the MySQL and SQL Server, because few guys in this batch, they are quite new one to programming. Please bear with me. At least 3 to 4 days we will do work with SQL queries. But what I will be doing is, we will be working on low, medium, complex SQL queries also. Okay. So in that case, it will be a refresher kind of thing. Don't miss out. Okay. Supposing you are, so I am going to use close to 15 tables. It is all interrelated, and you should know how to answer my business queries. I'll give you the business queries, and also will demonstrate you how to answer to those business queries by firing the queries against those data. It's all a bigger table, and you have to join more than 3 to 4 table also. But in real time, in the past, I worked with the maximum tables that I joined in a single query was close to 15 tables we joined. Okay. That's what, yesterday also one guy called me from USA. I was talking to him, and he's a business analyst. He said, in one of his assignments they gave him 12 or 13 tables to join, and he was literally struggled that time. Okay, so you should be knowing that one also, how to handle with those kind of complex things. We'll see to that one also. I will share the link, and also I will share the video also. Make sure that you are downloading MySQL and the SQL server in your laptop or desktop. I think the MySQL and SQL server works well in Windows 7 also. But I would suggest, Basuraj, better you can install the latest version of Windows. Okay, it is good. But even if you have 4 GB RAM, it is fine. It works well. Okay. But anyhow, it's one time investment. Okay, you just call them. Maybe they charge 500 or 700. One time you invest it. That's all. Any questions so far? Okay, since you don't have any questions, I'm going to wrap up the session, and will share the video link to you all. You watch my today's session, but don't worry, we will go in a very slow pace initially. Yeah. Yes, we'll share the link also. Don't worry. Okay, fine. All right. Good night. Take care. Okay. What we will do is, instead of having the session tomorrow, right? You download and install MySQL and SQL Server. Keep it ready so that we'll be very proactive and productive in the upcoming sessions. We'll start directly focus on the query part. Okay, how to fire the query, how to create the tables, everything. And I'll give you bunch of 15 to 20 tables in a script. You need to execute the script. That's all. Okay, I'll teach you everything. Don't worry. We'll circle back on this Tuesday, same night, same time. Okay. Okay. Good. Okay. Have a nice weekend. See you on this upcoming Tuesday night, same time. All right. Good night. Thanks, Asha. Thanks, everyone.